the decision to return to California having been made. Prior to his departure, Gary arrested his Wurlitzer electric piano to serve a sentence within the confines of a pawnbrokerage establishment, finding it necessary to capitalize on a financial disbursement for its confinement. Acquainting Glenn that he would forward the piano's bail after accessing his destination, a decision as to its disposition to be made at that time. The sudden advent of departure was of no consternation, the concerns addressing the band, finding an impetuous attitude, and a loss of focus was evident. Gary reasoned, disappointment was inherent. The Greyhound Sena Cruiser adhering to its post at the bus station at 2nd and C in Lawton, waiting for the traveling cortege to board, its ambition Oakland, California. Gary seated in the confines of the darkened bus as it accepted the highway, not the conveyance of choice or expediency, but opportunity, the passenger indecisive in thought, endeavoring for perspective, but objectivity still at a loss. Awakening from his slumber as the Greyhound entered the small town of Pecos, Texas, halting its progression giving pause for the passengers to stretch their legs. The traveler disembarking, the name Pecos ringing a bell. Then remembering as a 7 or 8-year-old, the stories of Pecos Bill. According to legend, a toddler named Bill fell off a wagon heading west and was raised by coyotes on the Pecos River and is responsible for creating many landmarks, including the Rio Grande River and Painted Desert. It was told he and his horse got stranded in the desert and needed water. Pecos grabbed a stick and dug the Rio Grande. And on one occasion, coming upon a tribe of hostile Indians, deciding to shoot his gun, and as they ran away, the paint they had on came off and painted the desert. He also was known to lasso clouds and cyclones, and dynamite was his favorite food. Welcome to Pecos Bill country. The traveler deciding to journey towards the downtown section of this once preeminent railroad town, a mainstay stop between Fort Worth and El Paso, Gary imbuing the pre-dawn cleansing air, clearing the blemished atmosphere of the coach from his lungs. Once again addressing the diminutive station, discovering he had subsequently let too much time wander, his scheduled Sena Cruiser having departed. The station master was quick to satisfy the situation, unbelievably relating, another bus to Oakland would arrive within the hour. Regrouping from the perplexity of his miscalculation, the abject musician boarded his supplemental transport, continuing the venture to Oakland. Seated at the rear of the conveyance dozing through the pre-dawn hours, waking to view the mesquite and sagebrush span of southwest Texas. Striking up a conversation with a fellow traveler, the new acquaintance mentioning it would be a time-consuming journey to Oakland. This Greyhound wasn't an express, it was traveling to Oakland via El Paso, Phoenix, San Diego, Los Angeles, then north to the Bay Area. Gary doing a quick calculation, with stops included, in all probability it would be another 24 hours before reaching Oakland. It was during the morning stop in El Paso, the fellow traveler, an elderly merchant mariner traveling to board ship in Oakland, made a hoisting suggestion that Gary concurred with, briefly exiting the bus. Resuming their travel, listening to the mariner discoursed his occupational adventures of the high seas, the musician exchanging anecdotes of his experiences, the two entertaining a bottle of orange-flavored Russian Fortitude, better known as vodka, to lessen the affliction of their travel. It was early evening when the Greyhound coach dropped anchor in Oakland, depositing the weary recent advents. Gary placing a phone call, and with the arrival of the 56 Plymouth, father and son relinquished the downtown bus terminal, the two stopping before accessing the Greenlee Drive residence. Gary and his dad according a cocktail lounge, not as father and son, but commencing a conversation with glass in hand, as two friends united, an acknowledgement by Gary never before experienced. Gary was home less than a week when a phone call painted a new picture. The call was from Troy Elledge, presenting the argument that he was needed and should return to Oklahoma. Don Red Eye Kinder, farmer, benefactor, promoter of Troy and his old band the Rhythm Tamers, offering to finance his return, wiring him the money, and also would obtain the pawn ticket from Glenn to retrieve the Wurlitzer Electric from its captivity. Gary curious to the reason for this sudden interest, Troy disclosing that Kinder was going to finance a recording session with him on the West Coast, and was going to include the band. The musician questioning the vicariousness of the conversation, once again a paradox riveting his essence of resolve, having just returned home, his past departures from the family having emboldened a sense of non grata, feeling somewhat estranged from his family, and this trying dilemma conveying his decry of autonomy. Gary searching for a logical reason to reject the Oklahoma offer, aware that there was one identity capable of issuing a discordant to his returning to Oklahoma, he waited for it to surface. But to his wonder his parents remained silent, their omission contributing to his decision to return.